Aha. My first book, Wisdom from the Inner Teacher. Those of you that were here before, you can never get enough of it, right? Listen to yourself, and in that quietude you might hear the voice of God. Maya Angelou's last tweet. Okay? So we go from tweets to sacred texts, right? And they're all beautiful. So I ask you to, again, listen to yourself and listen to the quiet so you can hear the voice of God. She has said it all right there. That's the purpose. Today I said that we are going to, in fact, be in harmony with the goals of this conference. The conference says we are going to reflect following the child and the scientific method. Wisdom from the Inner Teacher is the scientific method. The 6-step process of how to get to an aha moment is that. Okay? So, the steps are desire, surrender, still the mind, listen, act, and check. Sounds so simple. Poof, right? Okay. Let's go deeper into it. Now we're talking about that moment of insight, the aha, the epiphany, wisdom, truth coming in. Right? We've all had those experiences. Now, teachers, I am challenging you that those moments of aha, I got the answer, is what your job is. Everything else leads to that moment. If you want to judge how well you're doing in the classroom as a teacher, you can judge how many times the students have gotten, oh, that's it. Right? Sometimes we focus on the curriculum, sometimes we focus on the pacing, sometimes we focus on the lessons, sometimes we focus on the tools, sometimes we focus on everything else, and that moment of our calling gets lost. Okay? So when you go back in tomorrow, and you have all these students there, awareness of looking for the student that gets it, just got it. Then you know. So, why I ask you to figure out how you get an aha moment is the more you know how you get an aha moment, you will then intuitively teach that and know that with your students. Okay, again, it's the taking care of yourself to be the better teacher for them. Again, it is the self-reflection. Okay, it's all about self-reflection and doing that. Do this personal journey, you will be a better teacher. So we start with desire. Now you can look at these steps from a neuroscientific point of view, a biological sort of point of view, a psychological point of view, or a spiritual point of view. Okay? Doesn't matter to me. Have no charge on however you look at it. But they're the same. So if we're looking at it from a worldly point of view, the desire, I want to know what 2 + 2 is. If I'm looking at, what is the meaning of life? Okay, it's still a desire, it's still a question. All right, but we start with something that we're seeking, right? In a spiritual sense, there's always a seeking, right? So that's the desire. I want to know this. I want the solution to that. Should I marry this guy? Should I buy this house? What religion should I be following? Whatever it is, the desire starts there. And then we try and figure it out. And we try and figure it out. We go through that whole big process of like, oh, I don't know, and you look it up and you ask people and you do your research and you Google it and you do whatever you have to do, and then there comes a point where you say, I don't know. When you say, I don't know, I'm going to deal with it next week, I'm going to ask somebody else, I don't know. When you get to the point where you say, I don't know, you have stepped into the surrender. In a spiritual sense, the surrender, I don't know. Maybe the divinity knows. Maybe God knows. Maybe the one knows. But I don't know. I'm asking for help from somewhere else. I, Janice Fletcher, don't know. I'm surrendering. In a biological sense, what happens is our left brain shuts down, right? Because we've been working in our left brain with trying to figure it out, logical, mathematical, linear kind of thinking, and then we go, I give up. Left brain's shut down, we move into still the mind. Then our mind is still. Those moments that we go into, we're in right brain, we're getting into an alpha state. alpha state of mind is that dreamy state, is the state that we're going into with our mindful moments. The reason we're practicing that is because that's how we receive wisdom. Okay, so that's still the mind. Some people, do mantras, they do rosaries, these are all what do the Buddhists do with their prayer beads? Every sort of religion has something repetitive in it. You can find it, and that comes from the part of stilling the mind. So then once the mind is still, then and only then can we hear, can we listen, because the voice cannot be heard while our left brain is chattering. We have to shut it down, and then it can come in. Okay, so you have to be in the alpha state, the dreamy state, for truth, for wisdom. So when we're in prayer, when we're in meditation, when we're beseeching God, when we're whatever, then and only then, when we're not in our left brain, not in ourself, can we get it. So once we listen, has anybody like me ever said, I knew I shouldn't have done that? Right? How many times have we said? Now, how did we know we shouldn't have done that? Right? We've got billions of them. Like we probably did that today. Right? In fact, this stupid font, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Really, my husband said, "You want to change it?" And I said, "Oh no, it's so pretty. I've worked so hard on it." And I had this nagging thing that I should change it, but I didn't. So if we listen to ourselves, it's very pretty in the book, though. See, it is a pretty book. It's called Always in My Heart. Come on. How can you deny always in my heart to do my presentation? That was the intent behind these words that are not in that font. Anyway, so then we listen, and then the next step is, as Einstein said, the left brain is a faithful servant. It's like a computer, right? Whatever we put in, we can get out. And that's why I'm retraining your left brain to use your sacred words. I'm having your sacred words being looped in your left brain. That's my goal there, is for you to constantly go back to that, because literally your energetic vibrational being connects to the highest vibration possible. So keep yourself there. So you don't have to go buy anything. All you have to do is intently, authentically feel it in your heart and say those words. Bingo. Anyway, so we listen, then we can hear. We have to act on it, because as Einstein said, it's a faithful servant on this side. He says this side, the right brain, is a sacred gift. So the words, the truth, the epiphanies, the wisdom that's coming from our inner teacher, whatever you call it, is a sacred gift. Now, somebody gives you a gift, right? What do you do with it? You should treasure it, love it, unwrap it, hold it, want it, be grateful for it, whatever. Now let's take that gift, right? Make it sacred. Now let's not just make it sacred, let's make it truth from God. I would have avoided a whole lot of work on this stupid thing if I had listened and acted, right? That's what I'm talking about, how life changes. Life changes all the time when you listen and act on what gift you have been given of the wisdom and the truth. When somebody say life is just easier, rather than, who is it fighting it? Remember you fighting it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, how many times have we fought the change? We don't want, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm not going there, I don't, you're maybe saying that about me. Who is she? I don't like her. What is she doing? Who does she think she is? There may be all sorts of, whatever it is, when we just open, relax, and go with it, it's easier, okay? And then if you're one that needs to check or test it, you can check or test it by seeing, well, was it right? And she found out that yes, after all that fighting, it was the right thing. And I found out that yes, in fact, my husband was again right. Always is, not always. Anyway, so that's the 6-step process.